I have here as the question, what do you do with the next generation in consideration? Interesting question. One thing I do within myself that keeps the future generation in in mind is literally everything I do. Everything I partake in, everything that I watch, everything that I buy, everything that I make has, whether it be my own children, the future version of myself, or 4,000 years into the future, those people are also in mind too. And there's a way to this. It's not a religion or a cult or some sort of pseudoscience. It's just a modality of life. Let me put it to you this way. Just in the same way that, for example, in maybe your local town or neighborhood, they're all of a sudden erecting these apartment buildings. It's like, well, um, personally, I didn't grow up in one of those. I'm very happy that I didn't. Why? Well, because I know that even today or tomorrow or 4,000 years from now, everyone deserves to have their own land and a home. One story, two story, three story, it doesn't matter. Could be underground, could be above ground. It could be both. And when I see all these buildings popping up, it's like, you know what? For that situation that I'm a real estate agent, I don't know if I would ever transact a property like that because personally, I don't know if I can support that. That's just my way of looking at it. You could do whatever you want with your life. And there's a whole, I could talk for 2 days on why that exists. Just talking to someone just the other week about it. But the point here is when I think about myself and my own actions, there's the whole plastic free, the buy it for life side of things, the longevity of life side of things. That's what I do, and the intention is within all those things that I do, it has this coexisting resonant feel good energy. This thing that is like a it's like as if I was a magnet and I'm just magnetized to that feeling. It's this feeling of youth and just straight up like I often call it ecstasy. You could feel it in like music for sure, or in like a ripe fruit, or in like when you touch. Like I'm touching a blanket right now. Like you can just feel it. You can just. It's almost like love. It's like a undescribable thing. It's just this. Like yeah, this was meant to be in my life, kind of a thing. And so keeping the future in mind is also like a very selfish thing in a way because just in the same way that there's people who practice certain things or they go and they buy their own things, they're supporting something that whether they choose to see it that way or not, it's like it may or may not be there 4,000 years or tomorrow. It's really the point here. And like I said, it's a fascinating thing to consider because when you take in a perspective, like you know what, I have all these things that I buy. Why do I buy them? Or I go and I practice this thing. Why do I practice it? I'd say the biggest thing right now is the fact that there's some people who may be considered popular who do things that rub off on others, and then it's just like this multiplicative effect, this compounding effect that the interest of that particular thing just keeps rising and rising and rising. And because there's, I remember this quote. A guy named Ken said this at first I heard it. He said, everything that is popular is not important. Everything that's not important, let me start over and say this again. Everything that's popular is not important. And everything important is not popular. That's what he said. So I'll wrap up by saying this. Is there something that you do, and at the very base level thing, is helping your, and this isn't meant to be a means, but rather the end itself, because the habits and practices and the thoughts and the beliefs that you have now just so happen to be the ones that are going to be there in 4,000 years. That's just my eyes the way it works. So you could choose to be happy, and you could choose to have one thing of everything, or you could choose to have multiple things of everything, and I don't know if that would be happy, but anyways, take care. All the best.